Hello, good morning, dear friends. Today I am going to discuss about cerebrum, which is the part of or largest part of the forebrain. Parts of brain, forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain, in which cerebrum is the largest part of the forebrain and it is divided into two equal parts. In Hindi, cerebrum is known as गुदा, भेजा, मगज और बृहद मस्तिष्क। इसमें हम देखेंगे एम्ब्रियोलॉजी ऑफ द ब्रेन, इंटरनल स्ट्रक्चर, एक्सटर्नल स्ट्रक्चर, लोब्स, vasculature and clinical importance. So brain is the largest part. Cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. Cerebrum is the largest part of brain. It is divided into two hemispheres or half or part called the cerebral hemisphere. Area within the cerebrum control muscles functions and also control speech, thought, emotions, reading, writing and learning. So functions controlled by the cerebrum is muscles functions or muscular activity or action, speech, thought, emotion, reading, writing and learning. The cerebrum is the largest part of the brain located superiorly and anteriorly in relation to the brain stem. Situation of cerebrum. Cerebrum is situated or located superiorly and anteriorly in relation to the brain stem. It consists of two cerebral hemispheres, right and left, separated by falx cerebri of the dura mater. Separated by falx cerebri of the dura mater. Falx cerebri is the part of the meninges. Meninges is covering of the brain and falx cerebri of the dura mater divide or separate cerebrum into two equal halves. Embryologically, the cerebrum is derived from the progencephalon. Embryology of cerebrum or embryologically, the cerebrum is derived from the progencephalon. Internal structure of the cerebrum. Cerebrum is composed of two different types of tissue, grey matter and white matter. cerebrum का निर्माण दो प्रकार के ऊतक के द्वारा हुआ है जो ग्रे मैटर एंड व्हाइट मैटर है. ग्रे मैटर forms the surface of each cerebral hemisphere. Gray matter forms the surface of each cerebral hemisphere known as the cerebral cortex and is associated with processing and cognition. Gray matter forms each surface of the cerebral hemisphere and is associated with processing and cognition. White matter forms the bulk of deeper parts of the brain. White matter forms the bulk of deeper part of the brain or largest internal part of the brain. It consists of glial cells and myelinated axons that connect the various gray matter areas. External areas. Externally, the cerebrum has a highly convoluted appearance consist of sulci and gyri. Sulci groups or depression and gyri is ridge or elevation. It is divided into two anatomical symmetrical hemispheres by the longitudinal fissure, a sulcus that runs in the median sagittal plane. The falx cerebri descend vertically to fill this fissure. The two cerebral hemispheres are connected by a white matter structure called the corpus callosum. What is corpus callosum? The two cerebral hemispheres are connected by a white matter structure called the corpus callosum. Main sulci are main sulcus are central sulcus, lateral sulcus, and lunate sulcus. Central sulcus, group separating the frontal and parietal lobe, is called central sulcus, and lateral sulcus, group separating the frontal and parietal lobe, from the temporal lobe, and lunate sulcus, group located in the occipital cortex. So main sulci are central sulcus, lateral sulcus, and lunate sulcus. The main gyri are precentral gyrus and postcentral gyrus, superior temporal gyrus. Precentral gyrus reach directly anterior to central sulcus, located of primary motor cortex. Postcentral gyrus reach directly posterior to central sulcus, location of primary somatosensory cortex. Superior temporal gyrus reach located inferior to lateral sulcus, responsible for the reception and procession of sound. Lobes of brain. Lobes of cerebrum. There are 4 lobes of cerebrum: frontal, parietal, temporal, and occipital. The cerebral cortex is classified into 4 lobes according to the name of the corresponding cranial bone at approximately overlies each other. Each lobe contains various cortical association area where information from different modalities are collected for processing. Together, these areas function to give us a meaningful perceptual interpretation and experience of our surrounding environments. Frontal lobe. The frontal lobe is located beneath the frontal bone of the calvaria and is the most anterior region of the cerebrum. It is separated from the parietal lobe posteriorly by the central sulcus and from the temporal lobe infero-posteriorly by the lateral sulcus. The association areas of the frontal lobe are responsible for higher intellect, personality, mood, social conduct, and language. Parietal lobe. The parietal lobe is found below the parietal bone of the calvaria, between the frontal lobe anteriorly and the occipital lobe posteriorly, from which it is separated by the central sulcus and parieto-occipital sulcus respectively. It sits superiorly in relation to the temporal lobe, being separated by the lateral sulcus. Its cortical association areas contribute to the control of language and calculation on the dominant hemisphere side and visual functions on the non-dominant hemisphere side. In parietal lobe, its cortical association area contribute to the control of language and calculation on the dominant hemisphere side, and visuoparietal visuo visuospatial functions. Temporal lobe. The temporal lobe sits beneath the temporal bone of the calvaria, inferior to the frontal and parietal lobe, from which it is separated by the lateral sulcus. The cortical association area of the temporal lobe are accountable for memory and language. This include hearing, as it is the location of the primary auditory cortex. Occipital lobe. The occipital lobe is the most posterior part of the cerebrum, situated below the occipital bone of the calvaria. Its inferior aspect rests upon the tentorium cerebelli. Its inferior aspect rests upon the tentorium cerebelli, which segregates the cerebrum from the cerebellum. The parieto-occipital sulcus separates the occipital lobe from the parietal and temporal lobe interiorly. The primary visual cortex, or V1, is located within the occipital lobe, and hence its cortical association area is responsible for vision. Vasculature of the cerebrum. The blood supply to the cerebrum can be classified into three distinct pair arterial branches. Number one is the interior cerebral artery, number two middle cerebral artery, and third is posterior cerebral artery. Interior cerebral artery branches of internal carotid artery supplying the interomedial aspect of the cerebrum. Middle cerebral artery, continuation of internal carotid artery supplying most of the lateral portion of the cerebrum. Posterior cerebral artery, branch of the basilar artery supplying both the median and lateral side of the cerebrum posteriorly. Venous drainage of the cerebrum is via a network of small cerebral veins. These vessels empty into the dural venous sinus. Dural venous sinus, endothelial line, space between the outer and inner layer of the dura mater. Clinical cerebrovascular accident. A cerebrovascular accident, also known as a stroke, it defines clinically as an abrupt loss of focal brain function lasting more than 24 hours due to either spontaneous hemorrhage into brain substance or inadequate blood supply to part of the brain, that is ischemia, thrombosis or embolism. Cerebrum in this matter can give rise to a range of clinical signs. The exact nature of the functional deficit that arteries depends on the specific lobe that has been affected. Frontal lobe, parietal lobe, temporal lobe, occipital lobe, global lesion. Frontal lobe, a diverse range of presentation of in personality and behavioral changes occurs and an inability to solve problems develop. So, in short, today we see cerebrum. Cerebrum is the largest part of the forebrain. It has two lobes or part that is called hemisphere, and each hemisphere called right cerebral hemisphere and left cerebral hemisphere. Introduction. embryology, internal structure, external structure, sulcus and gyri, lobes of the cerebrum, frontal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe, vasculature, arterial supply, venous drainage, and clinical aspect. For a student, if you want to study in detail this brain, you use or take the help of the model or proper diagram to understand different terminology or parts related to the nervous system, especially central nervous system and brain. Thank you for watching. Like, share and subscribe.